And good morning to you. I'm Pete Najarian. This is the Take for Market Rebellion on this Thursday. A little bit of a cloudy day, but it sure is sunny for the Market Rebellion team, and I got a lot to talk about there. We're going to hit that a little bit later on, and I tell you what, we are very, very excited. Another just absolutely unbelievable discovery that we found underneath the market, and it took less than a month before we started to see, and this is just going to be so great. I'm so excited about that. First, let's talk about what's been going on earlier in the week. The first couple of days of the week, we had a great move to the upside. Obviously, the Dow had that big day up over 200 plus points. The NASDAQ had that very nice day as well. We just continue to go higher and higher. And obviously that causes people to have a little bit of angst. But when we see what some of these numbers are, when we see what the earnings are, and obviously looking in front and looking at the Fed, there's a lot of different catalysts out there that could push us in either direction. So far, the direction's been up, up, up. Matter of fact, take a look at the S&P 500, finally eclipsing through 4,500. I don't know how many folks would have thought by this time this year, facing a pandemic just 18 months ago or thereabouts, that we would be where we are today. But we are, and it continues to be just something that's been unbelievable. And fortunately for us, with the derivatives world and the volumes that we've been seeing, we have been finding unbelievable moves to the upside. Now, 34 million contracts trading yesterday. That definitely still stands out. That's a nice number. It's well underneath some of the numbers that we have seen over 40 million plus. Still, nonetheless, 34 million contracts yesterday. As a matter of fact, AMC actually eclipsed and moved up ahead of Apple yesterday. A lot of folks getting a little bit interested again in those rebel stocks that we talk about all the time there. So that's something. Tesla had about 800,000 contracts as well. Apple still well over 1 million contracts, but in second place when it comes to the volumes themselves. We did drop underneath from a VIX standpoint. The volatility did come underneath 17, finished right around 1680 or at least very close to those levels. Yesterday, Dow finished up strong. Stronger than maybe expected. NASDAQ finished up in positive territory. And of course, we talked about the S&P and the move we had there. What was really kind of fueling things? Well, financials and semiconductors. You take a look at Capital One on a nice explosive move to the upside. That was up about 2.25% yesterday. We had Goldman Sachs, we had Wells Fargo, we had Bank of America, we had Citi, all of which were moving to the upside. And of course, Morgan Stanley, which hit another new high yesterday. By the way, it's hitting another new high today, but we're going to jump into that in just a second. Crude hanging right around that 68, a nice bounce off of where we'd gotten down to when we were down towards those 63s. You take a look at crude, you understand why energy's also been in a leadership role now for a little while, and some of those beta names just absolutely have been explosive to the upside. I mentioned the semiconductors. Now, they were up about 1%, but you take a look at some of these names. NVIDIA. Now, we've had unusual in NVIDIA. We've talked about it on multiple occasions, both here on the Take and as well on the halftime report. But that name, another explosive move to the upside, pushing up towards that 225. Marvell over 64. And then you look at Micron, had a day yesterday as well, up about 3%. You look at Taiwan Semiconductor. Now, that's another one of these names. We don't talk about that one nearly as much, but a nice strong move up about 4% yesterday. We had Western Digital up almost 8% yesterday. You get the idea. Just an explosive day. It didn't end there, though. The casinos. Take a look at what was going on with Penn Gaming yesterday. That was up about 8%. Then you look at Caesars. Then you look at DraftKings. DraftKings getting up and over that $60 level. So we have seen incredible activity. We've also seen some great movement and a lot of option activity. And I'll tell you, looking at today, looking at yesterday and the last couple of days, more than ever, I am seeing extremely short paper. In other words, the options that people are buying generally, it seems like, aren't even going out much further than Friday. And that's just been a theme that we've been seeing. August 27th seems to just come up each and every time we see these unusual options. We'll talk about some of the unusual that we've got for today. Before I do that, how about these earnings? And you look at something like a Salesforce and the explosive move that Salesforce has had to the upside, the influence that is having today on the Dow, as a matter of fact, because Dow up about 25, got up about 50 or 60. It's kind of pulled back a little bit. You know, the NASDAQ, not nearly as much movement as we have been seeing, kind of right in that flat line, kind of up 10 points, down 10 points, sort of in that sort of a range so far. We'll see if that continues. Bitcoin has gotten back off that 50,000 level, trading right around 47,000, or at least in that range. That's something. Crude, hanging on to that 68. What's leading markets once again? Well, you take a look over at energy. It's not as strong as it's been, but it's had this great run, taking a little bit of a breather today. Crude down just a little bit. Matter of fact, the 10-year really stands out. It's up about 2%. Last I looked, we were right around 135, maybe 136, somewhere in that sort of an area, but a nice move out of the 10-year that's been giving a nice boost to the financials. So consumer discretionary, down about 0.5%. Energy, down about 0.5%. Materials, down about 0.5%. Semiconductors, giving back a little bit, down about 0.5%. Financials, up. Just continue that move to the upside. I'll tell you what, the Salesforce moved 4.5%. That's big. But you look at JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, you're going to see some really, really nice strength there as well. Now, I got to hit what I started with right at the very beginning. We love seeing these because I'll tell you what, Williams-Sonoma, not a name everybody's been talking about, not one of those very exciting names either. Oftentimes it got exciting. You go back to late July, we had some incredible option paper coming in there. As a matter of fact, that's when they actually went out a little bit further in time, buying time to see what kind of a move that we could get out of Williams-Sonoma. Stock was trading, call it around 156. We had the November 170s. And as a matter of fact, they were selling puts, they were buying calls. There was some nice size. They were also paying some decent premiums, some very expensive premiums. As a matter of fact, I think as much as somewhere close to maybe $9 for the options that they were buying in those November 170s. Today, those traded a little over 130. We'll take it. What an incredible move to the upside. I mean, Williams-Sonoma crushed the numbers. They have a great CEO. This is also a stock that early August 3rd, on Fast Money, I pitched this stock. Now, if you have not seen that, on Fast Money, oftentimes we will have trader, myself, oftentimes we'll be doing a trade that's something recent, something that we see excitement there. I talked about this name. The name absolutely blew it out of the water. You take a look at where that stock, matter of fact, yesterday, after hours, this is a stock that was trading up in the middle 190s. So it had a really big explosive move. Really excited about that. I'm sure the entire team is really excited about that. It's just one of those names. And you know what? We almost get used to it. But this one I just had to highlight because it's just a fun one. And we did talk about it with unusual options. And we did talk about it also as a pitch stock. So either way, this stock absolutely delivering when you want something to deliver. So speaking of delivery, I've got two things. Morgan Stanley, mentioned that name already. Financials continue to move to the upside. The August 27th expiring 106 calls. Stock already at new highs over 105. They're buying the 106 calls. They expire tomorrow. Let's remember that. That's tomorrow that these expire. That's 27th. They were paying 45 cents up to 65 cents for these 106 calls. Can it make it up and through there? We'll see. Oftentimes I look at when stocks hit new highs, oftentimes that seems to correlate to a decent percentage move to the next level. We'll see if that happens in this case. Now, CRM, that's Salesforce, guys. Another one, they expire tomorrow. They're buying 10,000 of the August 27th expiring, so that's tomorrow, the 280 calls. Stock was trading right around 273 at the time of this trade. They were paying $1 all the way up to $2 for these options. So we are seeing that activity. And as I mentioned, it's all very, very short term. Last thing I've got to mention to you is this. We have this unbelievable conference scheduled for October 1st and 2nd. It's going to be at the Aria. We are so excited about this. Last year, we had to do everything, obviously, by Zoom. This year, we've got some Zoom, but we've opened up some tickets. The guys did some magic. They were able to increase what we've got in person, but does not come with rooms. Understand that. Don't come complaining to us. This does not include rooms, but if you want to be there at this conference, it's going to be absolutely exciting. It's October 1st, October 2nd. It is at the Aria Resort. It's unbelievable. The folks over there have been nothing but helpful. We love what they're doing to help us out with this big conference. We're excited about it. The speakers that are lined up, It's just going to be an unbelievable weekend out in Las Vegas. And how do you beat Las Vegas, right? I mean, it's during football season. You got college football, pro football. You got the conference itself, Market Rebellion, talking about financials. You can't beat that. Guys, have a great day of trading. Look forward to seeing you soon. I will be on the Halftime Report tomorrow.